Hey, welcome to Plant Powered Yogi TV. I'm Carrie from plantpoweredyogi.com, and today on the mat we have an intermediate vinyasa flow practice that's going to target your lower body. So if you were looking to build some muscle and get toned up in your butt, in your thighs and hamstrings, this is going to be the practice for you. And of course it's going to target the core, the abs a little bit, just because of the nature of the poses. So I'm really excited to do this practice with you today. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the yoga videos. They come out weekly. And this is Plant Powered Yogi TV, so we are creating health both on the mat and in the kitchen. So if you haven't joined me in the kitchen yet, or if you haven't joined me recently, then make sure that you check out my kitchen videos so that you can learn how to incorporate more powerful plant foods into your life to improve your health in every way possible. So really excited to practice with you this morning. So let's go ahead and get on the mat. So you're going to come to the front of your mat with your feet right together. And we're going to take the hands to prayer position at the heart. You want to make sure that your shoulders are back, your heart is lifted, and your head is stacked right up on top of your shoulders. You want to firm the legs and find the balance on your feet, all four corners of your feet, finding equal weight. And just take a moment to come into the breath and notice how you're feeling today. Just breathing deeply and getting prepared for your practice. Just letting everything else go. This is your time. We're going to inhale and stretch the arms up the center line, and exhale, folding all the way forward, knees deeply bent, and letting your head just relax down. You can turn your head from side to side. And just taking a moment here, breathing in this forward fold. And as you inhale, let's roll up one vertebra at a time, taking the hands up the midline, and then exhale, folding all the way forward, knees bent, and breathing. Just relaxing here. Inhaling, rolling all the way up, hands up the midline, stretching up, looking up, and exhale, folding all the way forward, bending your knees. And breathing. Just feel the weight of your head. Inhaling, lifting the heart, extending your spine and looking up to a nice flat back. Then exhaling, folding deeply and bowing your head. Inhaling, coming all the way up with a straight back this time. Reaching up, looking up, and exhaling, bringing the hands right back to the heart. Inhaling, reaching up again, stretching back a little bit, and holding here in this tall mountain pose. Hands are shoulder width apart, nice and straight. Relax the shoulders down away from your ears. Make your legs nice and firm. Just let your eyes be steady on one spot and just breathe here in tall mountain. We're going to exhale and fold all the way forward. You can bend your knees again until we get warmed up. Inhale, lifting the heart, looking up, and exhaling, folding deep and bowing your head. Inhaling, coming all the way up, flat back, reaching up, looking up, and exhale, folding all the way forward. Inhaling, lift the heart, extend the spine, then exhale, stepping back to a high push-up position, and just holding here for a few breaths. So lifting really strong in the knees and the thighs, engaging the abs, drawing your navel in and up towards your spine, making your arms nice and strong and straight, your head in line with your spine. And as you exhale, we're going to lift the hips, pressing back into down dog. So we're going to take a moment here just to pedal out the feet, just bending one knee and pressing the other heel toward the floor. Just finding some comfort, some ease here in this pose, and breathing deep. Fingers are spread wide, palms pressing down, fingertips pressing down. Shoulders are wide, rolled away from the ears, and your head is in line with your arms. We're going to inhale, coming back into the plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. Nice straight body. If you can't do it like this, you want to go ahead and drop the knees. Inhaling, we're going to lower to chaturanga, or you can lower all the way to the floor. And then inhaling, rolling the heart up and rolling the shoulders open, up dog. Exhaling and down dog. Again, feet are hip width apart, just letting your heels be heavy, dropping toward the floor. Pressing away from the floor, armpits open nice and big. Breathing nice and deep. Eyes are steady. Good, sitting bones lifting. And then inhaling, we're gonna step the feet forward, heart lifted, look up. Exhale, fold, deep and bow. Okay to bend your knees here. Inhaling, coming all the way up, heart lifted, look up, and exhaling, folding all the way forward. Inhaling, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, stepping back. High push-up, plank pose. Breathing deep. Remember, you can put your knees down if you need to. We're going to lift the right foot up off the floor and breathe. Holding here. If you need to come out of this sooner than I do, make sure you take care of yourself, and you can always come back in if you have to take a moment of rest. That's completely okay. Really keeping those abs engaged here. And place that foot back down and take the left foot up now. Breathing deep. And if your knees are down, you can just go ahead and raise the knee up off the floor. Just be the same thing, except the knees are down. Just keep the hips low and challenge your core strength here, your abdominal muscles. Placing that foot down and exhaling, we're going to press back into down dog and breathing. Nice, deep, steady, full breaths. Eyes are steady on one point. I'm going to inhale, stepping up to the front of the mat, heart lifted, look up. Exhale, fold, deep and bow. Inhale, coming all the way up, hands up the midline, stretch up, look up. Exhale, folding and bowing your head. Inhale, lift the heart, long spine. Exhale, stepping back. High push-up down to low, chaturanga dandasana. Inhaling, up dog, and exhaling, down dog. Breathing deep. Inhale, we're going to take the right foot up toward the ceiling, making a straight line between your torso and your leg. You want to keep that right foot flexed, keep pushing away from the floor, keep opening the armpits, keep letting the left heel drop toward the floor, nice and heavy with the left heel. And then we're going to exhale and bring that right foot back down. Inhaling, stretching up the left leg now. Just work hard here to keep the left hip down low, as level as you can get it with the right hip. Keep breathing, pushing away from the floor, trying to keep the shoulders as level as possible. Right heel dropping heavy toward the floor. And exhaling, releasing, placing that foot back down. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, little hop up to the front of the mat. If you can't hop, just walk up. Feet right together, sinking the hips low. Coming up to utkatasana, fierce pose, and breathing. So you want to keep hugging the legs toward one another, feet are right together, knees are right together. Hips are sinking low, just really challenging the strength here of the upper legs and the glutes. Arms are reaching up, inhale, stretching up, stretching back. Exhaling, we're going to come into warrior 3 here. So we're taking that left leg out as we fold forward with the upper body, arms extended out by the ears here. If this is too challenging, you can always bring your arms out to the side or bring them at a diagonal back like airplane wings. So steady, deep breathing. The extended leg foot is flexed. Working hard on lifting the arms, then big step back with the heel lifted off the floor, crescent lunge. Stacking the right knee over the right heel, the back leg is strong and straight, and the back heel is lifted off the floor. Reaching up, looking up, and breathing. If your balance is difficult here, you want to look down at the floor. Exhaling, we're going to take the hands down to the mat, stepping back, chaturanga dandasana, inhaling up dog, and exhaling down dog. Breathing deep, a few deep breaths here. Little hop up to the front of the mat, feet right together, knees right together. And again, we're coming into that utkatasana, chair pose, fierce posture, whatever you want to call it. We're letting the hips sink back nice and low. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears, your arms are reaching strong. If your arms get tired, you can always drop them. Inhaling, lifting up, stretching back, and exhaling, we're coming into warrior 3 on the right side. So the right leg is lifted this time, and again, torso, you try to bring it as much in line with the hips as possible. And the back foot, it doesn't have to come up super high. You just want to bring it up as high as you can to challenge your balance and really work that glute muscle on that right side. Big step back, crescent lunge. So you're not putting the heel down in the back, stacking the left knee over the left heel. Back leg strong and straight, lifting the heart, stretching up and back with the arms, looking up if it doesn't bother your balance to do that. And breathing deep. Exhaling, hands down to the mat, step back, and chaturanga. Inhaling up dog and exhaling down dog. Steady deep breathing. Heels are heavy. We're getting a little warm here, so you want to press a little deeper into the legs. Lift the sitting bones high. Really encouraging those hamstrings to begin to open. Inhale, we're going to hop the feet to the outside of the mat, coming into a wide stance chair pose here. And then we're going to place the hands back down, hop back into a plank. Breathing deep, holding here. Inhale, hop up, feet to the outside of the hands, and then sit deep, stretch up. Like you want to sit your butt in a chair. Then exhale, hands down, and hop back to the plank, or step back if you don't want to hop, or if you're not able to hop right now. Inhale, feet to the outside of the hands, and again, stretching up, sinking nice and low. Really working hard here to bring the hips nice and low. Hands coming down, hop back, plank pose. You can always put your knees down if you need to. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Breathing deep. Sitting bones lifting, heels dropping. Inhale, we're going to step the right foot forward. We're going to keep the back foot at an angle with the heel down, warrior 1. The right knee stacked over the right heel, back leg strong and straight. Hips square to the front of the mat as you can manage, and try to square the shoulders off to the front of the mat also. Looking upward if it doesn't bother your neck, your arms reaching up, your shoulders relaxed. And I'm going to come up into a half moon pose. So the right hand goes to the floor, the left hand reaches up, and the back leg is extending up into the air. So we turn to the side here, we roll open the left hip, and we're breathing deep. Just keeping your eyes fixed on the floor if your balance is really wobbly here. And again, don't worry about how high you get the back foot off the floor, just do your best. And big step back, we're coming up into the warrior 1 again, and then exhale, hands down to the mat, step back, chaturanga, inhale up dog, and exhale down dog. Just take it here. Inhaling, stepping the left foot forward, back heel is down, warrior 1, strong back leg, left knee stacked over your left heel. Gaze is upward, breathing deep, really pushing through the outside edge of the back foot. And then coming off the back foot as you reach down to the floor with your left hand, extending the right hand up, rolling the hips open, letting the right hip wander up, taking the right leg up, trying to eventually become as straight through the torso and the extended leg as possible. If the lower leg is bent a little bit, that's okay too. And if your balance is wobbly, don't worry, this is practice. Just accept what is today and just do your best. Stepping back into warrior 1, stretching up, exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, chaturanga, inhale up dog, and exhale down dog. And breathing deep. Of course, you can always rest in child pose if you need to at times like this. Inhale, we're going to step the right foot forward again, coming up through Warrior One, and then as you exhale, Warrior Two. So we're going to shift the hips and the shoulders to face the side of the mat. Head turns to look through the right middle finger, the tip of the right middle finger, and your right knees stacked over your right heel. Back leg strong and straight, just really lifting strong in that back thigh. Challenging your strength here. If you need to adjust the position of your feet in order to feel like you are working an edge, go ahead and do that. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Couple deep breaths. Inhale, stepping the left foot forward, coming up to Warrior One, and then exhaling, Warrior Two. Again, just make sure that you adjust the feet. If you didn't step up quite far enough on your Warrior One, then you want to widen out the feet here in Warrior Two. Just really taking the left knee and pressing it out, keeping it over the heel. That back hip pressing back. Tailbone tucked slightly, lifting through the crown of your head. Shoulders relaxed. Breathing deep and exhaling, hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Shoulders are wide. Heels are heavy. Inhale, hopping the feet up, again coming up to utkatasana, really working the glutes here, working those butt muscles. So we're doing a lot of this squatting position. Hands come together in prayer pose at the heart. We're twisting toward the right, taking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Top hand pushes into the bottom, rolling the shoulders open. And inhale, stretching up and taking it over to the other side. So really working the twist here, challenging the strength of the legs and dropping the hips nice and low. You're looking straight ahead or looking up. Then inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, fold forward, straightening the legs. And inhale, lifting the heart, look up. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Breathing. Just really enjoying these down dogs, these moments of rest. Inhale, stepping both feet up to the front of the mat, heart lifted, look up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, bend the knees, sit nice and deep, stretching up, arms at shoulder width apart. Breathing. Inhale, stretching up and back, and exhaling, hands to the heart. Stepping out with the left leg now and taking your toes so that they point slightly outward. We're going to bend the knees and try to track them out over the heels. Hands together in prayer pose at the heart. So we're squatting deeply here. Feet are nice and wide. I'm going to drop the right elbow to the thigh, reach up with the left hand, back to prayer pose at the heart. Drop the left elbow, stretch up with the right hand, and back to prayer pose. Inhale, reach the other side. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, reach, and exhale, back to the center. Inhale, if you can tap the fingers down to the floor, go for it. And tapping on the other side, coming back to the prayer pose in the middle. Inhale, tap down, and exhale, left fingers tap down. Prayer pose at the heart, breathing deep. Inhale, straightening the legs, bringing your feet back to straight. Outside edges of the feet parallel to one another. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Exhale, folding forward, lifting the arms off the back. Keeping your legs as straight as possible. If you are very tight and you need to bend the knees a little bit, that's okay. It's really working the forward fold here to lengthen the hamstrings, work the inner thighs, and we're lifting the arms, making this nice shoulder stretch and arm stretch here. Then release the hands now back down to the mat, and go ahead and walk your hands over to the front, turning into a lunge here. So the back heel is lifted off the floor, this runner's lunge. And then we're going to inhale and stretch it up if you can. So if it's too much to do this, you can always place the back knee down, or you can put your hands on your front thigh. Just modify this in any way that you need to in order to make this practice work for you. Remember, this is your practice. You need to honor your body. Exhaling, hands down to the mat, stepping back, holding plank pose, breathing. Inhaling, we're going to come into the runner's lunge on the other side. The left foot stepping up and then reaching it up. Back leg strong, lifting strong with the back thigh. Really challenging your strength here by keeping the hips low. Again, if this pose just isn't working for you, then you can just modify it, as I said before, on the other side. Exhaling, hands back to the mat, stepping back, and chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. A few breaths here, just breathing nice and deep. Inhale, we're going to reach the right leg up toward the ceiling, holding and breathing. Foot is flexed. Try to keep the right hip as low as possible. And exhaling, placing the foot back down on the floor. Inhaling, left leg reaching up. Squeezing that leg up, really using the glute muscles here. Pressing evenly into the hands, dropping the chest, opening the armpits, right heel heavy, and exhale, placing that foot back down on the floor. Breathing. Inhaling, stepping the right foot forward, and then placing the hands on the floor in front of you. We're going to lift the left leg up in the air. And then we're going to bend the right leg, lowering the left one, and just working the muscles here of the right leg. So we're bending down as low as we can, dropping the left leg as we do, and then stretching up, straightening the supporting leg. So back and forth at your own pace like this, just supporting the upper body with the fingertips on the floor. And then just really working that right leg. Big step back now. Exhale, plank pose and chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, we're going to step the left foot up, and then coming off that back foot as you've placed your fingertips on the floor, back leg is extended up into the air, and then again, we're going to bend the left leg, lowering down, really challenging the left leg strength here, the glute muscles, the thighs, the hamstrings, just working on building the muscles in the legs and the glutes. Keeping that back leg extended up as high as you can, as straight as you can. And then big step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Enjoying that down dog. And inhale, coming back to a plank pose. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way to the mat. So we're going to roll each side up off the ground as we place our arms as far underneath us as we can. So really rolling the shoulders toward one another in the front. Hands pressing down, we're going to inhale, lift the legs off the floor. Just doing your best here. The head stays down, your chin can be on the mat. It's locust pose. We're keeping the feet and legs as close together as possible and breathing. I know this is a difficult pose. I know it's not comfortable. Do your best to keep your arms under you and your hands stretched down between your legs. Exhaling, releasing the pose, taking your arms out, turning your head to the side and resting and relaxing for a few breaths. And then we're going to do it one more time. We're going to take the hips up, bring the arms underneath our body as much as possible. Hands extended between the legs and the legs lifting. Such a great pose for strengthening the back and the glutes. So just do your best with it. Just really work hard here. Breathing deep. Hands and arms pressing down into the floor. Legs lifting. Then exhaling, releasing the legs, taking the arms out, turning your head to the other side, and resting for a few breaths. And taking your hands underneath your elbows, lifting up to chaturanga, then inhaling up dog and exhaling down dog. Inhaling, popping up and sitting down, or just walking up and sitting down. We're going to take the hands behind us now, legs out straight, toes pointed, legs rolling inward toward each other as we lift the heart, lift the hips, and come up into inclined plane. Fingertips are pointed at the feet here, really working hard on lifting the heart and lifting the hips. If this is too difficult, you can bend your knees and place your feet hip width apart and just do a reverse tabletop instead. Exhaling, releasing the hips down. And we're going to set ourselves up for a forward fold here. We're going to take the sitting bones back, legs nice and straight, just taking the hands forward wherever they can comfortably reach, lengthening the spine, folding forward, and just trying to relax into this forward fold. If you must bend your legs, you can do that a little bit, especially if your lower back bothers you at all. You want to keep that nice and safe by freeing up the hamstrings a little bit by bending the knees. So no worries how far you get into this pose. You want to try to keep the back as flat as possible, really hinging at the hips and not really rounding too much in the back. This is not about pressing your head toward the legs. Inhale, lift the heart, and coming up out of that forward fold, we're going to come down onto our back now. So the feet are flat on the mat, hip width apart on the feet. They're about right underneath the knees. We're going to extend the right leg up toward the ceiling and then inhale, lift the hips up. And as you exhale and lower the hips, only bring them down to about an inch off the floor. Don't bring the hips all the way down. You want to raise and lower here at your own pace, just keeping the glutes really engaged by not releasing all the way to the floor. So the foot is flexed on the extended leg, like you want to put a footprint on the ceiling. I'm just going to hold it here at the end of this exercise. Keep breathing, and then exhaling, bringing the foot back down. Inhaling, lifting the left leg up, and then again, raising and lowering to within an inch off the floor. Squeezing up, really working that glute muscle. Working hard to keep the leg that's in the air as straight as possible. Just finding your own rhythm, your own pace. And holding here, breathing deep. And going ahead and releasing, placing the foot down on the floor. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee now and reach in between the legs and around the left knee and pull that left knee in towards your chest. So stretching the hips out here. There's a triangle created between the right leg, the shin of the right leg, the thigh, and then the thigh of the left leg. Just working on keeping that right foot nice and flexed, breathing deep. Just finding your edge, always working to your edge. It doesn't have to be like anybody else or look like anybody else. It's just finding your edge, looking for sensation in the body. Looking for sensation and then just being with that, breathing deeply, being that observer. We're going to release and switch legs now. Taking the left foot over to the right knee and then going ahead and reaching for that right knee, pulling it in towards you. Keeping your left foot nice and flexed. Breathing deep. Just breathing down into the hips, directing the breath to go down toward the hips. Just imagine that in your mind. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Doesn't really matter, whatever feels good for you right now. Going ahead and releasing, taking both knees and rolling up to sitting. I'm going to take the legs out now in front of us, extending them as straight as possible, coming into navasana boat. So really want to pay attention here to the upper body. It doesn't really matter if the lower body has bent legs or straight. We want to lift the low back, lift the heart, keep the shoulders nice and wide. Relax the muscles of your face. Keep breathing. Better to bend the knees and to keep the low back lifted and the spine nice and straight than to be rounding in the low back and struggling to keep the legs straight. Good, steady breathing, shoulders are relaxed. And we're going to place the feet back down. Hands come behind us, fingers pointed at the toes, feet are hip width apart, and inhale, lift the heart, lift the hips. Reverse tabletop, letting the head drop back if that's comfortable. If it's not, you can go ahead and keep your chin tucked into your chest. Breathing deep, keep lifting, lifting, lifting out of the shoulders, heart pressing upward, hips pressing upward. Make sure that your toes are down, that the inner parts of your foot are pressing down equally as well as the outer. And exhaling, slowly releasing. Coming over onto your hands and knees. I'm going to sit back on the heels and widen the feet out, working towards sitting between the feet. If this is very difficult, you can sit on a block or sit on a blanket that's rolled up. And then we're going to lay back here. Now this can be pretty intense on the thighs, and it can also be intense on the knees. So if this just is not feeling good for your body, then please don't do it. Or you can stay propped up onto your elbows or just your hands behind you. We're working here to release the thigh muscles, so whatever's going to make you feel like you're stretching the thighs and the hips a little bit here, then that's going to be good for today. Lift the heart coming up. I'm going to take the feet off to the right, sitting down, and then taking the right foot over to the outside of the left leg. Sitting nice and tall. I'm going to put the right hand behind us, twisting clockwise as we bring the left arm or elbow to the outside of the right knee. Looking over your right shoulder. You want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of your head here. Every time you inhale, lift just a little bit taller through the crown of your head. Every time you exhale, let that twist deepen just a little tiny bit. So really rolling back that right shoulder, breathing deeply. If this pose seems impossible, try stretching out your left leg and having that be straight instead of bent. Good, and then we're going to inhale and unwind. Rock back and switch the position of the legs exactly opposite. Left hand behind you. Inhale, reach up with the right arm. And exhale, turning counterclockwise, looking over your left shoulder and breathing. Really feeling the breath here as it fills the rib cage, feeling the breath into the back ribs. Breathing deep. Nice, and inhaling, unwinding. Taking the legs out, bringing the soles of the feet together for padottanasana, bound ankle pose. Now we're going to draw the feet in, knees drop apart. If you can fold forward without rounding your back too much, you can go ahead and do that if you need some extra intensity. If you're feeling plenty just sitting up nice and tall, then just stay right there. If you want to use your elbows or your hands on your legs to apply a little bit of pressure, you can do that. Just finding your pose here and just breathing deep. Inhaling, lifting the heart, coming up if you've been folded forward, taking the knees together and rolling back onto your back, taking the knees with you and giving them a gentle squeeze in. I'm going to take the arms out onto the floor like a T, crossing the right leg over the left and dropping the knees over to the left. Turning your head and looking to the right. If this twist is too intense for you with the legs crossed, you can just keep your legs just normal, just next to one another and drop them over to the left. You do not have to cross the legs here. That just increases the twist a little bit. And we're going to switch to the other side and then exhale, drop the knees over to the right. Turning your head to look toward the left. You can have your eyes closed here, or you can be looking at the left hand. Breathing deeply into the back, feeling the back ribs expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. Enjoying this final twist. And we're going to inhale, bring the knees back up, uncross the legs and tuck your knees in towards your chest, gentle squeeze, and then releasing the legs out straight for final relaxation. Coming into Shavasana, corpse pose, letting the feet be spaced comfortably apart, toes dropping to the outside, arms somewhere by your side where they feel comfortable, and try to have your palms face up toward the ceiling. Now your eyes to be closed. Just relaxing all of the muscles in your legs. Relaxing the muscles around your hips. Relaxing the belly, low back, every muscle through the rib cage and chest. Your arms be heavy and relaxed. Relax your neck and your throat. Relax your jaw and your tongue, your cheeks, your eyes. Relax your forehead and your scalp. Feel free to stay here in final relaxation for as long as you like. If you have the time to have a nice long final relaxation, by all means take it. Just let this beautiful yoga practice sink into your body.